Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Lesson. Well, tonight is the big night where I will be going and investigating the guest house room by room, floor by floor, to see if there's anything to the supposed haunting of a little girl named Sarah, who passed away in this house many years ago. So I'm going to take lots of video. I will be taking a lot of photos. I will be keeping my eyes open and my ears tuned into my surrounding environment. And I will also be doing some digital voice recording sessions as well. So now it is possible we may hear some outside noise from the occasional traffic. Yes, there are still people going to the beach here at Popham Beach well after midnight. But I've tried my best to eliminate outside noise as best as I can by shutting all the windows. But I think it's time to get going, so let's do this, guys. I have been granted access to investigate most of the house. Now, there are a couple rooms that are off limits, but otherwise, I will be spending a decent amount of time in each room conducting EVP sessions, and taking photos and video, and just utilizing my eyes and my ears. I also have with me an EMF detector that I will be using to measure any electronic energy, EMF readings, electromagnetic frequency, things of that nature. Now, there is rumors of a little girl who haunts the guest house. Her name is Sarah, and she was 8 or 9 years old when she fell down the staircase that we're about to see, and she passed away. Since then, guests who have stayed here have claimed to hear footsteps and running up and down the staircase. So we're going to go in and we're going to do a sweep. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour before we conduct our investigation tonight. So let's go in and get started. Now, before we make our way deeper into the house, I want to say that I did have one interesting experience a few nights ago. It was about 2 or 3 in the morning when I myself heard what sounded like the scampering of footsteps on the staircase, which is what you see right through this window here. Now, I'm staying at the very top right of the second floor in room number 4, where you see the light. That's where I'm staying, and I've been here for the last couple weeks. I've heard some other interesting noises, mainly creaking of boards and settling of the house, things of that nature, things that you can explain away as being an old house, you know. So let's go ahead and get started with a little tour. So this door is off limits, but I'm going to show you around the areas that we are able to roam. This is one of several bedrooms that I'll show you. I can feel the cobweb brushing on my face as I walk into these rooms that haven't been rented out in quite some time. I just hope there isn't any spiders. To our right here is a little kitchen. Very simple, very small, but quite charming if you ask me. Now, the reason why guests haven't been staying here this season is because there's a change of ownership. Glenn and Diane, the current owners, have managed this house along with the Spinny's restaurant next door for about 30 years or longer. And here in just a few short days, the deal will close and the change of ownership will take place. When that happens, the new owner will no doubt begin renting out the rooms once again, which is why I've decided to take this opportunity to do a little investigation before all of that happens. Okay, let's make our way upstairs now. Are you in here with me, Sarah? If it's true what happened to you, I'm so sorry to hear that. I can't imagine what that must have been like. If you wish to talk to me, now would be the time. I won't be here much longer. We'll be sure to do some proper EVP sessions here before too long. But first, the tour. This is the room I'm staying in, room number 4. It gets pretty hot, which is why I have the fan running. But when I do the investigation, I won't have it on because it is pretty loud, as you can hear the clicking noises. But this will be my little headquarters during the investigation. We'll probably close the windows as well because there is the occasional night traffic that comes through. I'm sorry, I'm in room 2. That is obviously room 4. That is off limits due to renovations. This is one of the bigger rooms. Look at that old mirror. We have a queen and a twin bed in here. I am going to show you the deck here. You can hear the waves from the beach nearby. It's very peaceful, very beautiful out here. Is anyone in here with me? Sarah, are you here? Upon reviewing the video, it was at this point I see an interesting light anomaly appear in front of the camera with some interesting movement. It's hard to say what it could be, but it doesn't appear to be dust. Is anyone in here with me? Sarah, are you here? I gotta wonder how long some of this furniture has been here for. Okay. This is my favorite part. It's really warm in here. We have an attic space. Sarah, are you here? Of course, we'll do a more in-depth investigation later. this place is space is being used as storage, but that's about it right now. Alright, it is just after midnight, and I've decided to kick things off here in the kitchen. And I'm on the bottom floor. And what I've decided to do is I have here with me Sharon the shark, because Sharon is Karen, right? I'm gonna leave this shark toy here for Sarah. Sarah, this is for you. I'm gonna leave it here over the course of the night, and feel free to touch it, move it, play with it. But either way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my tablet, have the camera on my tablet recording the shark with the light here. So if there's any movement of this little toy here, it will be caught on the camera here. Okay, I have the shark toy set up with the flashlight beaming onto it. And I have my tablet set up here, and it is recording. And I have a coffee maker to hold it up. There we go. So I'm going to leave that rolling while I continue my investigation. Let's go. Okay, we are leaving the kitchen, and well, right off the bat, that's me walking on these old floorboards. So if there's anything going to be walking on these floors other than me, well, I think we'll all hear that. Sarah, my name is Bo. I don't know if you remember me from the other night, but I am staying upstairs and my time here is limited. I will be leaving soon. So if there is anything you'd like to say or share with me, I would love to hear from you. I would like to know that you are around, and I would like to say hi. And I am sorry about what happened to you. If it's true that you fell down the stairs, my goodness, I have no words. My condolences. Sarah, if you're here with me, can you make a noise, or could you move something like this rocking chair? Can you do that for me? Can you make this chair rock? Come on, you can do it. Push that chair for me, Sarah. Before we continue, I will say that throughout the course of the investigation, the camera picks up a lot of dust and insect activity, so take this into consideration before jumping to any paranormal explanations. A lot of dust in here, as you can see. It's being picked up on the camera. Now, I know why a lot of investigators wait until night to conduct their investigations. It's because there's less pollution, noise pollution from the outside world, and so you are able to have a more intimate experience during your investigations. I think we have plans for this chair later on tonight. What I'd like to do is set up the camera on this chair as well, and maybe put the toy on the chair once we're done in the kitchen there. Okay, so I'm going to move on a little bit, and I think we might just head upstairs. Now, this apartment here is off limits because they are doing renovations, and it's very dusty and just not very safe. So we're going to go ahead and head upstairs. Now, I want to reiterate the experience I had on the second or third night of my stay here, and this would have been almost 2 weeks ago now, where it was very late and at night. In fact, I think it might have been in the wee hours of the morning that I heard what sounded like somebody hurrying up the stairs, and it stopped, like the sound of it, and it sounded like somebody was walking quickly up the stairs, and it just stopped right at the top. Okay, so we're back in the bedroom on the bottom floor with the rocking chair, and as you can see here, I have the shark toy, Sharon the shark, on the arm of the rocking chair with the flashlight pointed right at it, and I'm using this plastic ice box to hold up the tablet while it records, because I'm not a very good investigator and I did not come prepared, but I am trying and doing my best. Sarah, I brought you your shark toy and I'm going to leave it on this chair for you, okay? But I want you to grab it and play with it and have fun. You know, it's a great little toy. It's a puppet. So I want you to try it on. It's yours. It's yours if you want it. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave the room and let you have at it, okay? Sarah, are you upstairs with me? Can you move the shower curtain? And this is the other apartment, or the other room that is off limits. We are now in room 3. What was that? Do you guys hear that bang on the window? Okay, so we are upstairs in room 3 conducting our first EVP session for the room. Now, just for the camera, this wall here does share an apartment with the owners who live on the other side, so they should be asleep, but it's possible that they may still be making noise and whatnot. But let's go ahead and get this going. Sarah, are you up here with me in room 3? I noticed there's a smaller bed here. Is that your bed? Was this your room? waves crashing on the beach behind me, probably a good 100 feet away or so, but it's loud. You can hear it through the walls pretty easily. I heard distant clicking sounds. Okay, I think it's time to move on. Let's go. Okay, so I think now, why don't we go ahead and move into our next room here. This is room 1. This is the room that gets the best lighting because the sunset or the sunrise will light all of this up, and then the sunset will catch, these windows will catch most of that sunset as well. Very pretty room. In fact, if I were a spirit, I would want to stay in here. Sarah, is this your favorite room too? Do you like this room as much as I do? If you do, why don't you move those hangers? Give them a little shake for me. Now, prior to the investigation, I did check to make sure there were no unusual folds or distorted covers or anything that may look like somebody's laying on it. Now, I've watched other shows where, you know, they come back after leaving the room and there's a big indentation or the beds have been disturbed. And of course, I believe none of it because I have not experienced it for myself. That's just the way it goes. Okay, EVP session commencing in room 1 upstairs. Now I set the flashlight on the bed, and we'll ask some questions and see if we can maybe inspire something to move it for us. Okay, that was me shifting, moving the chair, and let's go quiet. Sarah, are you in here with me? Whose room is this? Whose room does this belong to? Is it yours? Is it Mom and Dad's? Can you move that flashlight for me? Can you turn it on? Or it's already on. Can you turn it off for me? If there are any spirits here with me, can you turn that flashlight off? Go ahead, turn it off. Sarah, I'm going to be leaving this room here shortly, so if there's anything you'd like to say to me in here, now's the time to do it. Okay, I've been in here for a little while now, and I think it's time to move upstairs. I'm thinking it's time to go to the attic now. But So a lot of people ask me, do I believe in the paranormal? Yes, I believe that strange things happen without explanation, but I also believe that usually the simplest explanation is the best explanation. I've never seen anything weird. I've had a couple interesting things happen, but nothing that would quite solidify, you know, my belief in ghosts. So I am a skeptic, um, but that's why I do what I do. And I think the more investigations I conduct, maybe the better of a scope I'll have on the subject. Okay, so let's do this. It's going to be hotter than a Saturday night in Sin City, but I am looking forward to spending a little time up here. There's a random chair or two back there. It is very warm up here. Oh, there are spider webs everywhere. But hey, what's exploring an attic without having a little bit of cobweb in your face, huh? Okay. Are you up here with me, Sarah? I think what I'm going to do is we'll start off by doing an EVP session. So let's get that set up here. All right, so we have reached the very top of the guest house at the observation tower lookout point room. And I'm just going to start asking questions. Is there anybody in here with me right now? Isn't this a great room? This is one of my favorites. It's a cruise ship. It's a cruise season. I think that was a cruise ship. They have been known to come up through the Kennebec River up this far and this close to the beach. Oh, that's pretty cool to see. So I've been in here a little while now. I guess you could say this is the third story. It's really just a little pop-up of observation point. It's not really a third story at all, but there are a couple cars by the beach that are, I think they're fishermen or something. And I'm going to take this opportunity just to chat with the camera a little bit while they're doing that, because it is noisy, and I went ahead and stopped the digital voice recorder for that very reason. But a lot of people ask me, why Maine? What compelled me to drive, 3,700 miles across the country from California to Maine 3 times? It all goes back to my childhood, and it started with a movie called Casper, which was released in 1995. One of my favorite films, starring Christina Ricci and Bill Pullman, and a great lineup of a great cast of actors and actresses in the film. I loved it, fell in love with it. Now that movie, a good portion of it was filmed in Maine, and it took place in Friendship, Maine. Now, in real life, that movie was filmed in LA in the studios, but also in Rockland, which is close to Camden and close to Friendship, Maine. The movie didn't actually take place in Friendship, Maine, but that that was the story. That's where the story took place. So, but the movie was actually filmed in Camden and Rockland for the most part, from what I understand, and the studio in LA. Now, since watching that movie, Maine just looked beautiful, and it just lit this fire deep inside me to want to go explore it and experience it in person in real life. And it just looked beautiful. All the architecture, the history, it just seemed very wholesome and traditional, something I wasn't quite used to growing up in Northern California. But on top of that, it had the four seasons. It had those very colorful falls. So that's initially what got me interested in wanting to go to Maine. And years went by, and I sort of sat on the idea of going to Maine. And that opportunity came in 2018. That was my maiden voyage to Maine, and I decided to make that big, bold move and travel to Maine. And I stayed here for a number of months. And it's hard to believe that just in 4 years, I've been to Maine 3 times now. There's a lot of history here, and a lot of tragedy, a lot of darkness, a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. So you get that everywhere you go. But I think here, there's more potential for, I think, hauntings, if they do indeed exist. So, but that's what I'm here to find out. Goodbye, spooky attic. Sarah, I am leaving now. If there's anything you wish to say, or if you want to grab my attention, do so now before I head down, because I will be wrapping up things shortly, and I will be going to bed. And if you want to haunt me while I'm asleep, you're more than welcome to. Maybe that's what you prefer. You want to spook me? You want to run up the stairs middle of the night again? Be my guest. At least I'll know that you're around. I really hope that doesn't happen. But if it does, well, there's my confirmation, right? I think I'm just going to do one last sweep, and I think we'll call it a night. Now, if I have another opportunity to investigate this place after tomorrow, I'll definitely do it. But by then, there will be guests staying here, and there will be more work done. So that opportunity may never come again. So I am very fortunate to have this opportunity to investigate all of these rooms to myself, without the distractions of guests, in one of the most beautiful places in Maine, and one of the most popular seasons to be in Maine. And the more I think about it, the more blown away I am by the possibility or the opportunity to be able to do this. Sarah, I'm going to be leaving soon, but I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak with you, and thank you for letting me stay in such a beautiful place. You have a beautiful home here, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be here. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up the investigation. We've been at it for a while, and it's been a great night. I've had a great time investigating this old place, and I hope to do more. So we have a lot of audio, a lot of video to go through, and I'm going to let you know if I find anything. But in the meantime, thanks for watching Paranormal Lesson Episode 2, and I'll be in contact. Bye for now. Based on my investigation of the historic guest house at Pompano Beach in Maine, there was nothing that would lead me to believe anything paranormal was occurring there during my visit. But that's not to say that it doesn't happen to other people, or that the rumored haunting of a little girl doesn't exist within the walls of the house. If you notice anything odd throughout the course of the video, let us know below. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Paranormal Lesson.